Hello everybody, it is Thursday and I was just, doing my thing this morning and look what showed up. It's the Good Morning Good Life planner, which goes along with the Good Morning Good Life book that we're going to be doing for book club. And I thought instead of vlogging today, I would sit down and show you because fun fact, I already have my filming set up all ready to go because I was filming my power sheets. And on top of that, I did promise you guys I would do some planner reviews over the course of Vlogmas. And it's fun that this will be the first one that I'm really looking at. To give you some information on it, it is sold and published through Amazon. The author is Amy Landino. She has a YouTube channel called Amy TV. We're reading her book, Good Morning Good Life, for book club starting next week. There will be links in the description to help you figure out what the hell's going on with book club if you are interested in doing this. The planner is $29.99, which is, for this style of planner, might be a little bit pricey, but she herself said that she's not making any money on it because she did full color printing, and so this has no margin on it. I'm willing to give her that one. She refers to it as a workbook over a planner to go along with the book, and so I'm kind of going to be looking at it through that lens. I ordered it through Amazon, got it a couple days later, $29.99. Let's take a look at the planner. This planner and the book are the same exact size. The book is actually thicker than the planner, but they're the same size. The color scheme is very, very similar, and they're like a little like packet. It's kind of cute. That sort of was what happened with the bullet journal book and the bullet journal official one. They looked like they were like a little pair that went together. It was very cute. I will recall you to my review of the Charmed Life Master Planner and how I wasn't really a big fan of the book binding, like the self-published through Amazon book binding, because it made it hard to write in it. The same criticism goes for this planner. Like, it doesn't lie flat. You're gonna have to like really break the binding down to really get it to spread open. However, I'm a little bit more willing to forgive this one than the Charmed Life Master Planner for a couple reasons. One, the Master Planner has all of this space for project planning and everything else, which is good, but I just can't imagine writing that much, like so much writing in something that doesn't lay flat. Whereas this one, because of the way it's built, it's much more like built for jotting than it is for hardcore planning, for one. And for two, there's not as many pages in it. So it's a little bit easier, like when you're on this end and you're writing, you're not gonna have to worry about 8 pounds of book flipping over on your hand. So those are the two reasons that like I'm a little more willing to overlook this kind of binding. If this doesn't bother you, then this could be a great little planner situation for you. The covers are cardstock, same as the book, and the paper quality actually feels a little bit thicker than the book, which is nice. We'll do a paper test in a hot minute, but let's flip through here. So you open it up and it says go after the life you want, and then there's like a drawing of Amy Landino. And then you come into it and it says this planner belongs to, with like space for your name and your handles and your mantra. The little quote here about moving into your day. There's a little section here to tell you how to use the planner. This is what is your why. So it gives you a place to like jot down your why. The pages also look like they're numbered. Yeah, the pages, not all of them are numbered, but most of them seem to be numbered. Then we're in your year at a glance, and it has 2020 and 2021, and it looks like it's a Sunday start on these pages. Important events for the whole year, place to set your intentions for the year. Health, career, spiritual, and relationships. The color is like that pinkish, that like soft kind of neutral pink that is the same kind of pink over on the other book. And the dots are like a really light gray. I really like this color of pink, but if you want a true neutral planner, this one isn't it. It does have color in it. And then this is your section, which I think is really interesting, to give you your space to create your morning routines, like what time you wake up and what you're going to do when you wake up, and then what time is, like, it gives you like some time block outs, morning and night, with space to do things as part of your morning routine every day. And it's actually kind of explained over on this page, which is kind of cool. And I wonder how often you get that. I guess we'll see when we flip through. And there's little doodles throughout it as well. Then here is your monthly calendar, and you have a Sunday start. The Sundays have a different color for your little like day number than the rest of them. 5 rows for your calendar. You've got some line notes here, and then some little gray dot grid down here at the bottom. Then you have your monthly goals pages, a space for your monthly goals to take your annual goals and break them down. Your good morning moments. So these also go, this goes with the book. So a lot of these things like this movement mastery, all that, this goes in with the book. So you have to read the book to really, like, again, it's kind of like a workbook, but it gives you an idea to like say, these are the things I want to accomplish each morning to say I've had a good morning routine. And then some events and birthdays, people to reach out to, reading, watching, planning, learning, and some ideas. And then you go into your week, which is a Monday start. You have a full day for Monday through Thursday. Then Friday and Saturday have less space, and Sunday has even less space than that. So there is space for every single day of the week, but that's you guys have heard my rants before about how I really want each day to have the same amount of space. This is different than I've ever seen it though. Like I'm actually like, oh, so each day does have its own space. It's just you get a little bit less for each day. So that's interesting. That's interesting. And then for each day you have your 3 good morning guidelines, or like things to check off, your priorities. And then at the bottom, there's a little space to write and what time are you going to bed tonight. And you have 5 weeks within a month. It's undated. You have a couple of pages of reflection that are dot grid. And then you get back into the month. And I wonder, so that beginning is the only time you have to schedule your morning routine. And then the whole rest of this is just your 12 months of the calendar. That's the planner. Right off the bat, I'm going to tell you that I think that this is really pretty and that it really does look like it belongs with this book, which I think is super cool. I personally would not use this as a planner because it's not big enough for my planning needs, for one. For two, you know, like I said, I prefer to have the every day have its own space. And for 3, I'm not a fan of planners with this kind of binding for my personal self. But what I could see myself using this as is a way to keep track of how my routines are going, like as a little journal, like a routine journal, good morning routine journal. And the reason I'm saying that is because I'm going to be doing this for book club. And one of my goals for this next year, which you'll see when my power sheets come out, is to establish routines that work for me. And if I'm going to be using this book, at the very least in January, this could be a good way to track how my morning routines are going. What time did I wake up each day? Did I do these things? Or whatever the case may be, how's it going, so that I can look back on it and see how my actual shit went. Does that make sense? I feel like this would be really helpful for that, especially if you're going to read the book. So while this would not for me be like my daily planner, this could very well be a really good journal to go along with the stuff I'm going to try and work on in this book, and of course any other routines I want to potentially set up. So yeah, that's my thoughts. As for the actual durability, it feels like basically these 2 books feel exactly the same. Like this has slightly thicker pages, I think, but the covers feel the same. The weight, it's like they go together. I don't know. I think that's really cute. So I'm going to test on this back page here. And there's some other digital planning tools back here as well, like a couple of advertisement pages. I'm going to test this with my usual testing pens. I've got a gel pen, the Pilot G2. Got the Erin Condren ballpoint pen. I have a highlighter. We'll use this Stabilo highlighter because that's what I just had out right now. And then I have a Tombow. I need to do the highlighter again because I can't see it through that barcode. I'm going to grab a mild liner too because I feel like the Stabilos were super bleeding through on my Leuchtturm. Again, you'll see that coming up soon. The mild liner shadowed but did not bleed through the way that the Stabilo did. The Tombow shadowed but didn't bleed through. The gel pen and the ballpoint shadowed a little bit, and they both left a little bit of that ridge that comes from heavy-handedness. It's better than I expected. To be honest, I thought everything was going to bleed through because if this was like book paper, then isn't that what usually happens? So overall, what do I think? I think this is a cute little planner with a specific purpose. I don't know if it's something that I would recommend as like a regular daily planner as much as I would recommend it as like a companion planner, maybe to your regular planning system, to reading a book or whatever. I feel like these 2 could go together really well. Depending on what kind of planner system you like, this could be really great for you. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be using that as a companion, at least in January when I work in my morning routine. So I will let you know as January. It won't be during Plan As You Go. You won't see it being used during Plan As You Go because I'll be doing it earlier in the morning. But when I film my Plan As You Go, you'll get to see what I did that day. Stay tuned for that. I'm excited about it though. I think I would have been the most thrilled if it had been called the Good Morning Good Life Workbook, because that's what it really feels like to me rather than a planner, even though it does have planning pages. But I love the idea of it as a workbook. Maybe I could write that, cross that out and be like, workbook. No, I'm not gonna do that. Maybe that sums up kind of my thoughts on it. I think this is really valuable as a workbook. I'm kind of ambivalent on it as a planner, if that makes sense. I'd love to hear from you in the comments, both your thoughts on this and whether or not you're going to be joining me in the book club to start looking at our morning routines, because that's going to be starting next week. Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video.